Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. Y'all, thank you for loving on Eli for his 6th birthday. I show baby pictures because I want to share life with you, but at the same time, there are just different rules for us in the spiritual world. And so showing a current picture is not something that I've been guided to do, but you know, I am permitted to show baby pictures. So thank you for loving on Eli and Easton for their birthdays, even if you couldn't see like their present day faces, which I'm sure you one day will. Okay, so I'm going to jump into this reading. And the center of this reading is an ice queen. And so I feel like this ice queen took an action. And what caused this ice queen to kind of take an action is they're watching somebody who comes out in the energy of intuitive, but also a sweetheart. And so man or woman, when we're talking about being a sweetheart, it means you're unconditional with your love. You're gentle, compassionate, empathetic, sympathetic, understanding, like all of the qualities that make people feel good. Those are the qualities that you possess. Now, this sweetheart is going through a relationship repeat. I really don't see this as, I don't see this as you repeating a relationship with another person. I see this, that this sweetheart, this nurturing energy, this person is repeating a relationship with themselves, where at another time in their life, they were prosperous, they were fruitful, they experienced luck and rewards. Let me see. So we have jackpot, fortune, and rewards. And so you are repeating a relationship that you had with yourself at a previous time. Now the Ice Queen is in the center of the reading, and as they are watching you go through this shift in energy, like you've gone through an energetic shift, something has been released, and it's almost like you are stepping into a cycle where you will finally experience joy. But the reason why I feel like this person is jealous and envious, because maybe during one time or during one season or cycle, this person had an opportunity to influence negatively, like your path or the outcomes of situations and experiences. Now this person is jealous and envious, and it literally says they can't win. And so this is almost like somebody having a temper tantrum, and they're really angry. Okay, let me tell you what I'm feeling. Y'all, I lived in North Carolina for quite a while, and I learned for the first time that there are like little bugs called no-see-ums, and like I can't always see these bugs, but like sometimes I just feel like there are no-see-ums, like just like nipping at me. And so if I like scratch or whatever, I always take a shower and like get all clean before the reading. I try to wash off the day's energy, and then I kind of present myself to you guys. So if I'm itching, like there are no-see-ums, okay? So somebody is jealous and envious of the season or the cycle that you are in your life right now. This person is coming out as somebody who had to live and learn. And so I feel like they did something to interrupt your flow. They kind of wanted you to be in a position of loneliness, isolation. They wanted your life to be dull and disappointing. Like that was their goal. But they're actually seeing the opposite. You're coming out as somebody who is releasing something. You've shifted, right? And so you're moving into the energy of enjoyment. And I really think this is about the connection and the relationship that you have with yourself. And so this person can't win, but they are carrying an obsessiveness. And so this is somebody that watches you. They watch you in the shadows. They watch you in secrecy. This is somebody that is always reflecting on the changes, changing of the tide. Think about how the tide goes and comes. And so this is somebody that like watches you, like they know when it's high tide, they know when it's low tide. And so right now life is looking like you are moving into a season of fruitfulness and pleasure and joy and satisfaction. And so this person attempted to interrupt. Now, this is somebody that wanted you, or this is either somebody that wanted you to be imprisoned in a karmic connection, or this is somebody that you were in a karmic connection with. And so let's just talk about those karmic connections. That means that we haven't passed a class. We are dating people, or we are connected to certain family members, friends, or co-workers. And as long as we are in that relationship, like for the duration of time that it is playing out, we are learning some type of lesson. And so this is somebody that wanted you to always be in class. class, always be in school, never wanted you to succeed, never wanted you to graduate, never wanted you to like get a diploma and raise. This is like somebody who just wanted to see you trapped in cycles. But these cycles would have been based on karmic bonds, relationships that were unstable, relationships that weren't progressing or going anywhere. So the relationship that you have with yourself in this moment, somebody is obsessed about it. They're watching you. Now, you are coming out in the energy is not only are you repeating a relationship with yourself, but like if I were to describe the type of relationship that you are having with yourself right now, the key word would be wellness, right? And so you are prioritizing the relationship with your health. When we talk about health, it's emotional health, it's mental health, it's your physical body, it's your vessel. Your vessel has to carry all of you around, right? We're here because our soul has something to accomplish, but without a body, our soul wouldn't be able to accomplish whatever it is it is called to do, right? And so you are prioritizing the health of your vessel, which means that it is a lot easier in order to get your soul's mission complete. Somebody didn't want you to be on the path of your soul's journey. They wanted you to be trapped in those karmic cycles, right? Where you never really got to experience gains or expansion. Somebody, essentially, they wanted you to be a prisoner. Now, in order for somebody to want you to be in prison, I feel like, well, what did they gain when you were in prison? Sometimes people are just satisfied seeing you down, seeing things not working for you. Sometimes people literally feel good about watching another person struggle. And so whether this person has like verbally communicated this to you, they are like in the secret, in the shadow, like hoping and praying that things don't go well for you. But the season is here. The cycle has ended. And when I say the cycle has ended, if you had to consider the type of relationships that you continuously had when you were in those karmic bonds, inconsiderate, right? The type of people, places, and things that you were aligned with when you were in karmic connections or karmic cycles, it would have been people who were inconsiderate. They lacked compassion, they lacked thoughtfulness, they lacked kindness, they had poor manners, they were not polite, right? And so that is what somebody wanted you. That is the energy of the person, right? But this is also what somebody wants you to experience. They want you to essentially be with people who are carrying the same nasty energy that they're carrying, right? And so the problem is that you are in this season of give and take. You are in the season where it is free for you to open your heart, right? And you can give people a chance. You can let people in. And so you're not in prison. Now, somebody wanted you to be in karmic relationships where people were emotionally manipulating you. They were playing with your heart, right? They were promising you things. They were leading you on. They were sometimes possibly disrespectful, but also had the energy of shame. When we're talking about that like emotional scale and the type of emotions that give us different frequencies, the shadow energy in this reading, it says shame. Shame is the lowest. Like for us to carry shame, the type of vibration or frequency that we are giving off, that is the lowest possible vibration or frequency. So if you carry shame, so this is probably somebody that carries a lot of shame themselves. They feel flawed. They feel like they're not worthy of love. They feel like they don't belong. This is somebody that probably struggles with forgiving themselves. And so these are the type of projections that they send to you, but people can only project to you what it is they carry inside of them, right? And so imagine how low this person vibrates. And so they're not even able to reach high enough, but they're watching you reach high. They're watching you tap into different frequencies and vibrations. And they know that you're reaching high levels because of the type of energy that is coming back to you. Now, underneath the shame, one of the reasons why you don't carry the shame is God is with you. Like literally God is with you. You are coming out as a person who is very intuitive. Now, the season of your life is going to allow you to essentially be a wanderer, right? So this is somebody who wants you in prison, but now you're moving where you're free. Like you've been released from whatever this prison was. And so now you can travel, you can wander, you can explore. I really feel, you know what, sometimes there are prisoners, maybe your cellmates, right? You're both serving time. and maybe you get out in 2025 and this person is not going to get out until 2035, right? And so this is somebody who's just really angry that you have gotten free, and so they're ruminating and they're stirring in all of these negative emotions, but during the entire time that they've been in prison, like, they haven't capitalized on their time. And so what you did with your time when you were in that cycle, I think you worked through all of these shadow energies that this person has not even touched. Now, the Ice Queen is also carrying the victim mentality. So this is somebody who, no matter what they go through, everybody else did it to them, right? So this is no accountability. This is somebody who doesn't believe that the universe, they don't believe that life wants what's best for them, right? And so the karmic connections and those karmic lessons, those are teaching moments. But this is somebody who's like skipping class, they're sleeping in class, like they're not awake, they're not recognizing that this is not happening to you, it is happening for you. And so this is somebody that is forever a victim, and somebody who lives as a victim perpetually. They want to make you a victim. Now, this person did something to try you. When I say try you, I mean spiritually or supernaturally. Now, I'm getting that energy because right now they are out of balance. They are overworked. But that is exactly what they were sending towards you, but they were sending it in the shadows. Now, on this card, it says secret shadows, and we have the moon. And so quite possibly somebody could have been using the energies or the cycles of the moon in order to kind of amplify the type of energy that they wanted you to live in. But then on top of the secrets in the moon and the shadows, we have white magic. When we're talking about white magic, that means that you only use it for selfless reasons, right? You don't, and sometimes prayer is white magic. Lighting a candle and decreeing and declaring is white magic, right? It's for protection, but you're not protecting yourself because if you're protecting yourself, then obviously you've already agreed not to be a victim. And so that's what it is. It's like when you tap into universal energies and you're just saying, hey, like, there's some energy in my space that I really don't align with. And so I honestly think you are naturally a very selfless person. And so whether you are actively choosing to participate in white magic, it is just the vibration that you carry because of your selflessness, right? And so if God is with you, one, you can't lose, okay? You can't lose, and your intuition is almost like the link between you and the cosmos. It's between you and the Most High. And so you are always on the phone with God no matter what. That means God can pick up on you, God can sense you. Like, it is just a constant flow. It is a constant connection. Now, this person right now who is living in shame, now you could be some type of person who carries wisdom. You carry knowledge. Maybe you're some type of advisor, right? But not only are you walking into a season where there's going to be success and reward, but the way you walk, the way you live, the knowledge that you gained from those karmic connections and karmic cycles, that becomes meat that you can pass on to other people in order to kind of pull them up out of those same cycles. And so somebody essentially has watched you free yourself out of prison, and they don't know how to do it. But this is not somebody that is willing to learn. Again, this is a victim. This is somebody who thinks that everything is doing this to me. This is very childlike. This person can be a full-grown adult, but they are very childlike. Now, whatever they've been doing to you in secrecy, they're going through some type of repercussion, right? They're coming out as the energy of somebody who had to live and learn. That's like that kind of fuck around and find out. So what they were doing in the secrets, they did enough. They did enough so that now, as you walk into this cycle of success and reward, this person, honestly, it says they're dealing with legal situations. Now, what this person didn't know is how devoted you were to your spiritual practice and your intuitive history. And so that's what I mean. Like, there is no separation between you and the Most High at any time. You're always tapped in, you're always connecting and communing. And so this is somebody that doesn't recognize that there is something bigger, there's something greater that you are you are linked with, right? And so they're looking at you, and maybe they think that you're responsible for all of this. But this is somebody that doesn't ask questions. They just assume and they blame. Now, one of the things that I'm seeing that they may have attempted to do to you, right now this person is going through legal situations, but I think that the legal situations that they are going through, initially they wanted to put you in a situation where legally you would have been strapped. When I'm talking about you being strapped, I'm talking about your root chakra. This is somebody that gambled. They took a risk, but they risked too much. When they gambled, they wanted to put your root chakra in a legal situation. So your root chakra is about your survival, your stability, your safety, your comfort. If your root chakra is not grounded, like if you don't feel secure and safe, and if you don't feel like you can take care of yourself and meet your own needs, then all of your other chakras are kind of out of whack because you're not rooted into anything secure. So this is somebody that maybe they compromised something in your personal life in order to cause you some type of legal situation because they wanted you to be codependent. So you could be a person that's very independent. You don't rely on people, places, and things. If there's something you need or want, you go out and get it, right? And if you don't have the resources to go out and get it, well, then you use what you have to create the next version, or to, you know what I mean? Like you literally use what you're not looking for anybody else to provide or to hand something out. So when we're talking about codependency, on the card, it says relationship addiction, right? And so not only did they not want you to be independent, but they wanted you to be the type of person that literally couldn't survive or succeed unless somebody else was helping you or handing something out to you. This person, again, this is all about projections. So when we're talking about shadow energy, this is like the dark space inside of people that they are blaming you for, but they don't know that they're just carrying it. They're just sending it outward to you. And so this could be somebody that relies too heavily on other people for their sense of self-worth. This is somebody that doesn't give their self enough self-love. You are quite the opposite, right? And so when somebody attempts to uproot you or destabilize you, but God is with you, again, they're not messing with you like they're messing with the Most High, because you are rooted spiritually, you are devoted spiritually. And when we're talking about intuitive history, your intuition didn't just kick in, right? This is something that you have lived with. This is something that you have mastered. And it is through your intuition that you can connect to the supernatural, right? And so there are levels to your greatness, right? But this is somebody who lives in shame, which is the lowest vibration. And so they can't even fathom the different, like the different levels. Like they can't fathom all the different moving parts that kind of make you the person that you are, right? And so legally, this person may have done something in order to make you codependent, okay? And typically codependent people don't like independent people. They feel like they have no use. They feel like they don't have a need because they only know that they have value when they are supporting, helping, or assisting another. And so if you are somebody that kind of goes out and gets it on your own, it's almost like the energy, like, who do you think you are, right? I'm the person that you really could be, but you just don't know you could be. And so you planted seeds, and at the same time that you were planting seeds, somebody else was in the shadow planting seeds. We have reap what you sow, putting in work, growth, and nurturing. And so everything that you are experiencing in this next cycle is a reflection of the work that you did. And so anybody that doesn't like the way you look in this next season, they haven't considered that I'm standing this way because of the continuous practices that got me here. This person could be a Queen of Pentacles. When we're talking about Queen of Pentacles, you know, yes, we could talk about astrological signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but think about those signs. Those are earth signs. These are signs that are rooted in the pentacles. So money and finance and beauty, like the tangible things in life. This person can be going through legal situations to the point that their own roots, their own stability, their own security is compromised. And it's only because of what they were secretly projecting on you in the shadows, right? Now, this is also a person that you may have cut ties with. And so for a period of time, this could have been a family member, a friend, it could have been somebody you were in a relationship with. Like maybe if you're down and out and you need this person's help, and as long as you need this person's help, this person is extremely happy because they feel like they have worth. But when you start to create changes and plant seeds of growth and prosperity, you don't need help anymore, right? And then we have the energy of cutting ties. And so not only did you figure out how to sustain yourself, right? Not only did you find your own self-worth, but you cut ties. Cut ties meaning maybe you left a situation, you left a position, you started to look for something better, you ended a job, you ended a relationship, like, you know, and it doesn't mean you burn a bridge, but this person may have felt burned by the bridge that you built for yourself, right? And so even if you moved on with grace, it is really the shadow energy of codependency that no matter how you moved, unless you moved with this person's support, help, and assistance, they would have always been offended by it, okay? Now, in the process of you planting seeds, right? So this person's mad that you don't need them. And you're coming out as a sweetheart. 2 times in this reading, you are described as a sweetheart. And so you are not threatening. You are selfless, right? Everything you do it with love. You do it with compassion and care. You are not attempting to spite anyone, but the way that you are received, is not necessarily a you problem. People can only receive you based on who they are, okay? And so if you're moving in the energy of enlightenment, but this person lives in the basement called shame, any way you move, if it looks outside, if it taps on to their shame, like, you know, if you trigger them, not intentionally, but if you trigger them and they start to feel like they don't have worth, God doesn't love me, life doesn't flow that easy, you know, this is somebody that literally holds on to every experience, but in the worst way. So they are constantly in this karmic cycle, but they're not recognizing that they are their greatest teacher if they would just learn from the experience. So in the process of you planting seeds, this is what this person was doing. It says rumors, verbal abuse, lies, slander, judgment, psychological projection. So can you imagine that? And that's what I mean about inconsiderate people. How many times have we been in those karmic lessons and karmic cycles where you know that you're moving for self, not in a selfish way, but like you're doing what you are called to do. Like everybody should seek to be independent, but these are people who get offended by your stability, your strength, your wisdom. And so because they don't like the way you move, now they will just attack you. Now, I've heard this one time, like if people can't control you, if they can't control you, if they can't trap you in codependency, and if you're just kind of like this free bird, right? They will attempt to control everybody that has to connect to you or everybody that knows you. They'll control the opinions of others because they can't control you. That is the energy I would get with this person. And so listen, you were moving in your passion. Listen, however you unfreed yourself, however you unstuck yourself, however you got out of this prison or shifted yourself out of this cycle, you were moving with passion, but you weren't moving alone. You were moving with the Most High. And so it's almost like when you pop out, right, as this explorer, as this wanderer, everything that was said about you immediately is going to be seen as false. Now, as long as you were imprisoned and those seeds were underground and they hadn't yet sprouted, everything that was said about you, maybe people thought that it was true, right? And think about that type of energy. That is spell work. Like a lot of times we don't understand the power of our tongue. If people are lying on you, they are casting a spell. If people are verbally abusing you, they are casting a spell. If they are spreading rumors, that is a spell. If they are slandering you, that is a spell. If they are judging you, literally from moving in the way that the Most High has ordained you to move, that is a spell. And then obviously the psychological projections is essentially to lock your mind up, to lock it up and to lock it down, to get you to stop, to get you to be stunted. And so this is somebody that can never get unstuck from a season in their life. And they stayed stuck, but they made peace with it. Maybe they didn't think they could grow, you know, and I think a lot of times people who fail the test in their own life and they don't know how to recover from the failure, They will get mad at those of us who are passing tests. Like, you could have had the same experience and maybe you failed, but then you recovered, right? Maybe you did have to repeat a grade. Maybe you did have to go to study hall. Maybe you did have to get a tutor. Maybe you had to come to school early or stay late, but you did whatever you needed to do to pass the class. That is essentially you planting seeds of growth. And so the season that you were in, it doesn't just magically appear. It is something that you had to work on. I was talking to a lady who's a play therapist a few weeks ago, and she was saying that success, she didn't have the exact percentage. I didn't know the percentage. We were just having a conversation. But she was saying that success, in order to gain and achieve success, it's about like 60 to 70% consistency. Right? You got to wake up and you got to do the same thing every day. And so whatever you were passionate about, right? And remember, God is with you. So whatever you were passionate about, it was a passion that you maintained. Not only did you have a passion, but you developed a practice around that passion. And then you practice every day, again and again and again. And this is why you are sprouting in the way you are sprouting. So I really get the energy of a hater, but this is a hater that did a little too much. And I have a Queen of Pentacles, but I also have an Ice Queen. So this could be one person, and just those are two sides of them. Somebody who is really obsessed with money and finances, and they think that they are kind of the hand that feeds everybody. But at the same time, they have an icy heart. Like, they're cut off from their own emotion. They're cut off from their own passion. They're just very practical or cerebral when it comes to life itself. Like, they're not in love. They have no passion. They have no passion. And so they're jealous of your passion. Somehow you have the ability to make it work. Now, not only do we have the Ice Queen in the center of the reading, who is overworked and out of balance, and I really think this person is exhausted because whatever they have set towards you, it hasn't stuck. But also you have a guardian angel. So in this reading, and this is from my homemade deck, they can't win. God is with you, okay? But then you also have this guardian angel, which means you really are never alone. You're going to go through obstacles and you're going to go through challenges because of the nature of your devotion and your spiritual practice and just the history of your intuition. When I see intuitive history, I think of an ancient soul. You've done this before, but you've done it well. And so yes, you can go through karmic seasons. Yes, you can go through karmic cycles, but it is the way you get up. There's a card in this deck that says, fall down 7, get up 8. Some people want you to fall and never get up again. Right? And so the fact that you were determined, the fact that you were consistent and diligent and devoted, like, think about those qualities. Those qualities are needed in order to achieve anything, right? And so this is probably the type of person that like comes up with a new plan, but they only do it for 1 or 2 days. Like, how the hell are you going to be great at anything if you only do it 1 or 2 times, right? And so giving up on themselves again and again and again, but then watching you be persistent and diligent, and that is the way you love yourself. I've heard before that when you can control your emotions, you can control your life, right? Because do we feel like getting up? Do we feel like doing any of the things that we are accountable or responsible for? No, we don't always feel like it, but we get over that feeling and then we keep it moving because we understand. There's a proverb in one of my other decks, and it says, if you don't sweat in your youth, you will have your hand out in your old age, right? And so put the work in while you're young. If you're lazy and inconsistent and not practicing towards a passion, then when you get much older, you will become a beggar. But it's because you weren't practicing. You didn't develop a form. You didn't develop a habit. And so that could be the energy of this person. You are coming up as somebody who is very practical, very structured. I have the energy of 4. In numerology, the number 4 is the most practical energy, or the most practical number, and it's literally about the 4 corners of a chair, the 4 corners of a table, the 4 corners of a house. Think about a table with 4 legs. You can't really push it over, right? And so like that's that stability, that's that realization of self. You have to be a planner. The thing about the energy of 4 is sometimes 4s are kind of monotonous and boring. I'm a 4. Because in order to be responsible and accountable, you have to do the same thing. You know, think about those jobs where every day you show up and it is the same task again and again and again. Some of us really enjoy that. Some people don't. They need things to change. And that's fine. But it is about your energy. But I'm also going to read this differently. This could be somebody that they are structured, but the way they are structured, they aren't changing, they aren't shifting, they aren't inventing or implementing anything new. Okay. And so this is somebody who's rigid, somebody who's dogmatic. You know, and if we're talking about all the different shadow energies we talked about, obsessiveness, shame, victim mentality, codependency, inconsiderate, like, how is any of that going to get you to success and luck and reward and wealth? Like, right? And so those are those dark energies that are projected onto you. But if you have a guardian angel who moves with you through obstacles and challenges and gives you guidance, if you have the Most High that is literally with you and never separate, then you can't lose. And so I've heard people say you move like the universe is rigged in your favor. Even if you're at the bottom of a pit, even if you are imprisoned, you move like you're a winner. You move like you're a free man or a free woman, right? And so that's the energy that you carry that gets you through these cycles. Emotional manipulator. That could be one of the tactics of this person. Emotional manipulator. So playing with your heart, but you're coming out as a person who carries too much wisdom to be fooled. Like, it's almost childlike, no matter how old this person is. I mean, anybody that tries to manipulate your emotions, it's like, really? You know what I'm saying? And what people do to you is really a reflection of who they are. That's why we try not to take projections personally. This is just people casting out whatever it is that they're carrying within. And so you are a sweetheart. You are somebody that your passions kind of got your emotional process initiated. We have the energy of Cancer. Cancer connects to the fourth home or the fourth house in the astrological, in those 12 houses. So this could be a family member. This could talk about like what you carry inside of you is not a reflection of the roots that you came from. So you could just be a different breed, right? And so if you come from these type of energies, not everybody is going to be happy about seeing you rise, right? And so your intuition is literally about to turn you into this explorer, this traveler, this wanderer. All the while, somebody is obsessed with the fact that you were supposed to remain in prison. So y'all, enjoy your trip. Enjoy this new cycle. This relationship repeat. This is not about you and another. This is about the relationship that you have with yourself. It is so solid and it is going to be reflected in your life, but it is because of what you did every day, even when people weren't congratulating you. I've heard before that a lot of your wins are going to have to be in private. Like, you are going to have a lot of wins in private before you become a public success, right? That's that consistency and that's that diligence. And so it is not by accident that you are walking into a season of luck and reward. That's not by accident, right? All right, y'all, I love you. I hope this was beneficial and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.